Good evening. Thanks to everyone for taking part in the quiet energy work portion of our service. Your cooperation in creating this sacred space is greatly appreciated. Let's begin by chanting 3 ohms together. Opening prayer. Divine oneness of being that man calls God. Ascended masters and teachers. Our own personal guides and overlighting angels and the guides who watch over a circle of light. Thank you for coming in closely this time. Thank you for working with us and through us as we gather here today to align our individual will with yours, so mote it be. Please open to the first page of your book and we will say together the universal greeting. If this is new to you, please watch the service workers to follow along with the interactive hand movements. I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I hear your needs. I see your beauty. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from a higher source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together. Turn to the next page and we will say together the 9 principles of spiritualism. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in all sacred texts are divine attributes proven through mediumship. I'm going to tell you about an experience I just had today. Went to a house to help them with some problems they were having energetically in the house. And the important part is that this being came to me, and the image they used was from the movie Toy Story. If you remember, I don't remember if it was the first movie or second or what, but the neighbor kid was basically torturing his toys. And that's the image they used to show me the spirit that was in this house was like a kid that had been hurt or abused and was taking it out on the people around him. And so after some conversation, he took my hand and I walked out the house with him. And what I'm conveying to you is that the more I do this stuff, the more I learn that the Hollywood image of like spirit possession and ghosts and stuff is so completely wrong. And that most of the things I encounter are very much like children that just need love. And I encourage you, a lot of people do, a lot of people I know, employ compassion with living beings. I implore you to do that the same with energy beings or ghosts or whatever you want to call. I say that because there's a whole spectrum of things that can be around. We colloquially call them ghosts. So my message to you is to treat them with compassion, kindness, and love like you would a child. We welcome your donations to help us maintain our presence in the community. You may donate via our website, circleoflightstl.org, or through our Facebook page. Thank you for your donations. All funds received help us in our mission to seek, develop, and teach the knowledge of the relationship between humanity and spirit. The crystal globe displayed here is filled with prayer and energy for healing Mother Earth and all her children. Everyone is welcome to contribute prayers for world peace and world healing. We invite you to add your energies to this sacred sharing. We will now say the prayer for spiritual healing found on the next page, after which there will be a short silence for you to softly say the names of anyone that you would like to receive extra healing this week. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Current announcements. Well, the big one is this coming Saturday, which will be November 2nd. Yeah, that's this coming Saturday. This is the last Sunday of the month. November 2nd at 7 p.m. here in person, Gifts of Spirit, a celebration of spirit communication. The certified mediums of Circle of Light will deliver messages from the great beyond. Everyone gets at least one message, and usually you get at least a few per person. And we use a variety of techniques like tarot cards. I'm going to use tarot cards. Each person who comes in will draw a tarot card and place it in a bowl or plate or whatever we have, a dish. And I will use that card to connect with your guides and give you a message. Karen H is doing mantras. Karen M is doing stones, I think. And we'll have a variety of message giving techniques to demonstrate. And we'll have some light refreshment. And I don't know, Karen has some other stuff planned too. It's going to be fun. That's this Saturday, 7 p.m. here in person. Tickets available online or at the door. We thank you for donations. Now a prayer over the offering. Divine oneness of being in all of your forms, thank you for filling these gifts with your divine light and maximizing their potential and effectiveness. Amen. That brings us to the message portion of the service. Please actively listen to each message, as these come from universal source of IR guides. They may be tailored to the individual, but they deliver wisdom to the whole. Please address questions about messages to the message bearer after service. To welcome each of our spirit workers, we sing together to raise the vibrations in our circle. We view the word God as a universal term for deity rather than signifying any one particular path. So instead of me singing to the microphone by myself, I'm going to chant a mantra for spirit communication. It goes like this. I'll do as many as it feels right. Radha Swami David A.V. Radha Swami Satnam. 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 Lois. They're showing me the checkered flag at the end of a race. Yeah, I'm just taking a minute here to identify the feeling here. It's not about winning. It's that whatever, you were in some kind of situation in which you felt like you were in a competition. And that is done. There is, like, it's become irrelevant. There's no winner. There's nobody even in the stands. The bleachers are empty. The situation, but there's a checkered flag in that, the checkered flag saying it's over. No more race, no more competition. There's nothing there. It's not your concern anymore. Nancy. Well, of all the animals, it's the camel that shows up for you. Okay. Interesting. Because I remember Deborah saying this in messages before, slow and steady wins the race. It's funny how if you hang around here for a while, you'll notice oftentimes there's a theme in the messages. And she says, slow and steady wins the race. We often in our culture think of the tortoise and the hare. And the lesson is that the tortoise, the slow and steady wins the race. For you, it's a camel. So a big part of winning the race is knowing what to expect, i.e., knowing how to be equipped. If you had embarked in this race on a horse, you would have ran out of water, ran out of steam, which is also water. But you're on a camel. So this journey you're embarking on, and maybe you're already on it, it might not be as much of a race. That speed is not important. What's important is being on the right animal, having the right equipment, being prepared, knowing what to expect, and finishing is the key. Interesting. All right. Thank you for allowing me to stand between two worlds. That brings us to the message portion of the service. If I have this set up right, we will hear something from Melina.
Welcome to Seasons of the Sabbats and the holiday of Samhain. Begin by finding a comfortable place in your chair and taking a deep breath in. And when you are ready, exhale. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Allow your breath to become slow and steady and even for you. And focusing at the top of your head, allowing your body to relax, noticing any bits of tension as we go, knowing that it is important, especially for this meditation, to be focused and not distracted. Allow your focus to move down over your face and your throat, allowing any tension at the back of your head or the front of your forehead to relax. Your vocal cords may need to clear now and then. Allow your shoulders to relax down from your ears. Allow your shoulders to kind of be pushed down. You might want to tilt your head from side to side. Allow any tension in your upper back between your shoulder blades just to kind of drop and fall down. Excuse me. Focusing on your arms, start at your shoulders. Allow your elbows to feel kind of loose and also drop down. Allow your hands to become floppy and your wrists become loose. As you move down through your chest, you may find yourself needing to take a big breath and to exhale, allowing those lungs to relax. Allowing your hips to rest after carrying us around all day. Allow your thighs and your knees to become loose. And lastly, your feet and your ankles. Take another deep breath in and notice any last place where you may need to consciously relax your body. And take that breath in now. And exhale. Allow your body to wiggle just a little bit, to rest a little bit more in your chair. And allowing your thoughts to turn inward, you begin your journey with us. Instinctively before us, we see an incredibly dark night with a moon overhead. We are outside, and for the most part, things are quiet. We hear those normal nighttime sounds, perhaps of any of those lingering crickets that are still around. We may hear rustling in the branches from birds or squirrels. But we allow ourselves to take in this nighttime view. The trees open up enough overhead for us to see the moon, and the sky is a deep blue black. We see a glow before us, although we cannot see where it comes from. And instinctively we are known that we are drawn there. We are known that this is where we will end up. Wrapping our cloak around us just a bit more from the night air, it is starting to get chilly. We begin our walk towards that glow just over the hill. As we make it that short way to the top of the hill, we see torches lighting a path. We begin that trek down the path, breathing in that crisp night air, following the torches as they weave just a bit here and there, noticing that our journey takes us down a hill. We hear the grass begin to crunch under our feet and the leaves that have gathered in this small hollow. As we turn and follow the torches, we find ourselves at the bottom of this hill on a small plateau overlooking a valley. The torches line the edges of this hollow and this plateau, and in the middle we see a bonfire. Not incredibly large, but not a small campfire either, but a larger fire already set and primed and lit for us. There is a bench near the fire, and as we sit down, we are able to look and see both the bonfire and the valley below. As we take a moment to take in our surroundings, the air, and what we see before us, we begin to hear slight drumming in the background. We do not know where the drums come from, but we know that they are for us and for this night. As we sit and we wait and we watch, we see on a far hill a single fire lit on a torch much like ours. An individual in a cloak holds it high, waving it to us, and then lights the torch on the fire next to them. One hill over, we see another torch light as it waves to us and again bends down to light a fire. We see another hill farther off, barely able to see the torch that the torchbearer holds as they bend down to light a fire. And slowly and instinctively, each torchbearer at each hill lights their torch, one after the other, then lighting their fire, creating a strong line of fires that reach over a hill and out of our sight. As we sit for a moment, watching this unfold before us, we begin to see torches from that far hill where we could not see begin to light and again light a fire. And then the next hill closer to us lights a torch and then lights a fire until after fire, after fire, after fire, the hill to our right lights a torch and waves it at us and lights their fire. Instinctively, we pick up a torch that lies on the ground. We light it from the bonfire and we wave it back to all those torchbearers upon the hills, close and far. Our torch we set in a holder in the last spot of torches around our fire. We are encouraged to stand as we face these people and these fires. Instinctively, we raise our arms to the sky and our cloak falls away. We raise our hands high and we look to the moon. We ask the goddess in her many guises. We ask the horned god in his many guises to be with us tonight. We ask that they invite our ancestors, our friends, those in spirit for this one night that we may all be together. As we do so, the figures that are closest to us raise their arms in unison, each standing at their own fire. Hand over hand goes up across the valley, even those we cannot see, each calling to the Lord and the Lady, the goddess and the god, inviting their ancestors to be with them at this time. Family and friends, pets, all are invited, all are welcome, and all hear the call and respond. As we take a moment to take stock of who has come to our right, we begin to see faces manifest out of the ether. Those that have been long gone come first. Relatives of cultural lineage, relatives that stretch back from the beginning of time, wearing clothes and faces that we can tell have evolved over time. Next, we begin to see the more recent past. Slowly, they begin to form out of the night and out of the light around the fire, coming closer to be with us. None of them speak, yet we hear their words in our mind. The words of, I love you. I am always with you. You will always be my son or daughter or friend. Our pets have also made their way to this sacred space. And we see their fuzzy faces, their scales, their feathers, whatever skin they wore in that past lifetime. One after the other, the ancestors come forward, and we find ourselves surrounded by a circle of love. All those who have touched our hearts in one way or another are here. They simply let us know that should we have need, we have but to call on them. Their responses may be different. We may see actually them. We may see their favorite bird, their favorite color. We may see their favorite saying on a t-shirt in a store. And sometimes they may touch in with us as we sleep. We may dream of them. When we are awake, we may simply feel their presence or their warmth as they draw close. Our pets may rub against our legs or perch on our shoulders or wrap themselves around our ankle. Regardless of how they make themselves known, they are here with us at this time. They are never truly gone. As we take a moment to look into the eyes of each person or pet here, we allow ourselves that moment of connection, and we may receive a message from some of them. Some of them just come to show their support of you, and that's okay. Some come even though they have not been long dead, and those may find a little bit of difficulty expressing themselves just yet. But be reassured, they will find their voice, and they will find their way. Taking time to connect with each face, receiving what message that we will. As we connect and receive those messages, each one will slowly fade back into those finer planes. One by one, we're reminded to pay close attention to which ancestor goes last. Which ancestor stays behind for you to have that moment, to give you that message. Again, this may be an ancestor you have never met. This may be an ancestor that you have no pictures for. Or it may be someone familiar. Regardless, take a moment to take your time to look into their eyes, to feel the love that emanates from their heart, and to receive your message. Know that you can return to this spot at any time to make these connections with those you hold most dear. You can return to this place at any time to repeat your ritual, even with those on the far hills. Know that you can return at any time and call to just one ancestor if you like, just to spend more time with them, knowing that this place is sacred and will always be here for you. As the last ancestor fades into the night, Our heart is full of love, of knowing that they are always with us. As we look out across the hill, we notice that just like our bonfire, the others are starting to burn down as well. We see each person that stands on that hill wave their torch at us one last time and toss it onto their fire as it goes around in reverse order. As the circle begins to make its way back up to us from where it started, we too take our one torch and drop it into the fire near us, almost burned out. The fires go out as we stand there one last time, looking at each other upon the hill, knowing that we are connected to these strangers on these other hills. We are safe, we are loved, we are connected. And when we are ready, we begin to follow the torches back up off the hollow of the plateau, each torch magically extinguishing itself behind us as we make our way up the hill from whence we came. One by one, the bits of light go out. When we find ourselves back at the top of the hill, we take another look at the moon overhead, giving thanks to the Lady and the Lord for our experience. We give thanks for being allowed to walk between the worlds, for the ancestors that we were able to make contact with tonight. When we begin to feel the tug of our body and feel that it is time to move back into that physical form, we say thank you. We say thank you. We say thank you. And we open our eyes and we say, so mote it be.
That wasn't nice. I should have told you to turn it up. So my message was,
All right, thank you. Now, closing prayer. Divine oneness of being, ascended masters and teachers, overriding guides and angels and ancestors who have come before us. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Thank you for bringing us together. And thank you for overriding our individual and collective path as we go from here. So mote it be. Thank you all for being in our circle of light. Please stand with us in unity as we sing together, let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, Let this be my joyous vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.